From Tobacco Republic in Loomis, California, the Loom Cigar Cartel presents Beyond the Humidor, a cigar podcast for the rest of us. I actually got that one right. Thanks for listening. Scott Robinson with you here for another episode of Beyond the Humidor. It's been a minute since we've recorded. Lots and lots of stuff has gone down since. That's why we had the filler show in the previous show, but now we're actually... I can't even say live because this will roll out on Sunday if you're listening to it. So, yeah. So, hey, happy Sunday. You're getting a new episode with all of us here.
Yep.
Which is good is that we didn't record last week because I got a tooth pulled and I was pretty much useless for like 4 days.
I had the scratch in the eye that I couldn't smoke. You can't smoke now.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Speaking of which... Yeah, everyone feels sorry for me, which is why I don't have a cigar in my mouth. I'm just drinking because, from what I hear, dry sockets in the newly extracted teeth are a bitch. So I don't want to roll the dice. It's been a week. I'm going to give it another week. Then I'll go to smoking again. But do you know how hard it is to walk into a cigar lounge when everyone's smoking and I'm just sitting there just... I want to smoke.
And some asshole leans over and blows smoke at you. Here you are, sir.
Oh, gee, thanks.
It's because we love you.
Yeah, I know. Now, should I get into the mouse condominium right now?
Excuse me?
Give him a good laugh first, because when I go into my rant about vehicles, it might be give him to laugh first.
All right. So a couple weeks ago, I was doing yard work outside in the old yard. Tiny wife, in her wisdom, we have this patio set on the side of the house. And in her wisdom, she covered it up. And then she tells me, you know what? We need to like kind of air out that patio furniture. I was like, well, just, take the stuff off of it. Well, no, because what if there's mice under it? I'm sure there's no mice under it, but fine. Amazing how we go to traditional gender roles when stuff like this happens. So, of course, I go out there because, there's a little bit of mouse poop and such. So I've got bleach in my hose and I'm, washing off the freaking concrete. And then I go to take off the tarps. She had a fucking mouse condominium down there. There were about 8 or 9 freaking mice. I'm hitting them with the hose like I'm spraying protesters at Kent State.
Did you get your rent, or did they flake out on that?
Nah, they flaked out. Yeah, they boned out because I was just hitting them with a hose. I didn't have a gun, and not that I'd be shooting a gun at the ground anyway. So I'm hitting them with the hose and the bleach, and they just make a run for it. Totally, running out on the bill. Cleaned up the mouse poop.
So let me get this straight. You hosed them over to the neighbor's yard?
Yeah.
Yeah, nice guy. See, you could have got one cat, no dogs. You'd have been all set, man.
Well, it gets worse, Larry. I'm at my place of employment yesterday, and he and the wife pop in, and now there's a vole problem.
Excuse me?
Mice, voles, same freaking difference. little critters.
Like a golfer?
No.
That's kind of what a vole is, but they're little.
Yeah. So I had to do some, cutting under the trees to take away their shelter. Now they're probably all hiding under buyer's remorse, a.k.a. my hot tub. Mm-hmm. Get those Samoan dudes to pull it out. No, that's not racist. Those are the people who loaded it in, and it's a business.
And it was fucking impressive, too.
Oh, yeah. They had these 3 Samoan dudes who go around town and kind of subcontract for all the hot tub places. They give you their number, and it's like this truck pulls up, and 3 freaking huge Samoans literally lift this freaking hot tub off of the freaking flatbed and carry it into your backyard to the location.
Yeah.
What was it, $300 and worth every freaking penny?
Yep.
They lifted that fucker over a fence. I was amazed.
Yeah, especially because most of them are shorter than the fence.
Granted. But yeah, that's my life. So I'm cigarless, but I'm not drinkless. So that's a good thing.
Yeah, hey, should we talk now about what we're drinking?
Yeah, why
yes,
not? All right,
let's do that.
Let me grab the bottle. So for those of you who are viewing this, we have the Jack Daniel's Single Barrel Select, and on the side there, engraved at the distillery Beyond the Humidor. This was a gift to Beyond the Humidor from my buddy Propane Mark. For those of you in the Sacramento area, that was Legacy Propane for many, many years, and sold out, retired, moved to Tennessee. He's about 45 minutes from the Jack Daniel distillery, so he ran over and picked us up a bottle.
Thank you, Mark.
Thank you.
So we will be enjoying that, and then the bottle will be displayed. I'm thinking maybe this would be a good item to put cigar labels in.
Yeah.
Have it as a shelf display.
Yeah.
There you go.
So we'll be out of Jack Daniels rather shortly, so we'll get started on that probably in a week.
So, Greg,
Yes.
tell me about this rant of yours that's going to make people unhappy and mad at you. He wanted me to come out with the funny. I don't know how funny that was.
No, I didn't.
but-
It wouldn't come out with the
Or
funny. It was
light.
you're considering buying one of these cars, so it is what it is.
Okay.
If you all viewers that are old enough remember the holy and sacred trinity of Clarkson, Hammond, and May of Top Gear, they put out an episode many years ago talking about people that drive cars by brand, and they're typically, in America, we would say they're dicks. Used to be BMW drivers. Then Audi came out with their fancy shit, and all those dicks moved to Audis, and regular people could drive BMWs again. Notice how I saved that, considering your wife drives a BMW. Now, I have determined, because the three have retired, that they have moved on from Audis. Audis are now safe to drive again, because 10 to 1, when you're dealing with a fucking dick on the road, they're driving one kind of car and one kind of car only. Would you like to guess on people that cut you off and drive like idiots and can't fucking pay attention?
I know.
A VW thing.
No, sir. Try again.
Tesla.
A Tesla. These motherfucking Tesla driving twat waffles need to learn how to drive a fucking vehicle or get off the road. I cannot stop a 6-ton vehicle in 100 feet. It doesn't work.
Hey, well, don't stop it a couple of times, and you'll help you'll help the progression.
Yes, but the problem is, as we have all learned, when Tesla shut down I-80 for 16 hours, you freaking wreck one of them sons of bitches. They burn for days.
Don't be in the wreckage.
True. That's my rant.
That's your rant, huh?
Mm-hmm. And now that I've alienated probably a third of our listening audience,
You assume a third of our listening audience can afford a Tesla. All right.
I hope a third of our
Hell
audience
yeah,
can
our
afford
audience
a
is
Tesla.
doing good.
Yes.
Yeah, and just for the record, I'm seriously considering getting one. So I'll be one of those twat waffles.
Pretty soon.
Oh, yeah.
Well, if you're going to get an electric car, why don't you get a Ford Lightning and kill two birds with one
Yeah,
stone?
or get
you
one of
got an
those little-
electric pickup, jackass.
Brother, ew. Ew.
I saw a meme the other day that was quite apropos. It's no longer Dodge against Ford against Chevy. It's all of us against those electric motherfuckers.
Don't be a hater.
What's your favorite phrase? If you don't got haters, you're doing something wrong.
It's true. Mm-hmm. I also say drinking too much Haterade's bad for your health.
Well, I'm going to die young then. Who cares?
Funny to think you're young.
True. From the Gorilla enclosure, we haven't heard much from him today. How you doing, Gorilla?
Oh, here it comes.
I'm good.
That's it?
Hey, Gorilla's had a rough couple of days.
In December, I want to say like December 9th, 1908, the New York Times front page article was, it will take human beings 1 million years to have commercial flight. 4 days later, the Wright brothers flew their plane. Teslas might be irritating, but my generation will all drive electric vehicles. Like, not to rain on the Tesla hate, but it's, from a younger person's perspective, it's fascinating to watch the discourse and how it's changed over the last decade or so.
Do you
and
think
how it ebbs and flows.
Do you think your generation will finally get the flying car?
No, and here's why.
Do tell.
Everything he just said about Tesla drivers now in the sky, no, there's no way. There's already, not to go off on a tangent, and I won't, there's already an increase in general aviation incidents because it's gotten so common for the average, I say average person, the average person with enough money and time to get a pilot's license that general aviation incidents are already starting to become more and more of a thing.
Can you
Look
imagine?
at that jackass that decided to leave Catalina Island after dark on a runway with no lights.
Yeah. Well, can you imagine if the FAA handed out flight licenses like DMV hands out driver's licenses, we'd be fucked.
Hey, we'd have a lot less people flying.
This is true.
But no, it's always interesting to me to hear people be like, these fucking electric cars. I'm like, as soon as it becomes practical to drive from Dallas to Denver and have regular charging spots, that's the metric most people use is if that commute becomes doable and convenient in an electric vehicle, that's the other side of the hump for a lot of the industry people. Once it becomes that common, it's mostly an infrastructure and logistics problem. Like the Tesla semi-truck fire, that's a firefighting infrastructure problem.
Yeah.
We've never had to put out lithium fires with this regularity before. So it's a new thing that the system has to learn to accommodate. Sorry, Gorilla's fascinated by shit like this. Sorry.
This is your grandfather's version of, God damn it, I'm going to keep my covered wagon forever. So,
One of those goddamn motorized horses.
yeah.
Well, it's like one of my favorite stories is the first cross-country road trip in a Winton touring car. Two dudes got in their car in San Francisco and 68 days later made it to New York, but they did it. They proved it was possible. And then it was all downhill from, well, depending on your view, downhill or uphill from there. So it's fascinating. Stuff like that fascinates me. Hi. Gorilla, the gorilla moment has ended now. Back to our regularly scheduled program.
So
Yeah.
the cigar this week.
I was just about to ask, what are you guys smoking?
The three of us are enjoying a gift from a coworker of mine. He gave me a bunch of these Oliva Master Blend 3 cigars, and I thought it would be good to bring them on the show and smoke them. I do have one for you when you can smoke, so you're not left out of the party. The Oliva Master Blend is a flavorful, poignant smoke with spicy and earthy tobacco sweetness in their profile. So says Oliva. I think Larry and I would tend to disagree with that. It is Connecticut broadleaf wrapper covering a binder and long filler from Nicaragua. It's a really, for me, it's been, because I smoked one well before this, it's a nice, smooth, fairly creamy cigar. I don't get the spice notes that they say are there, but it's a really nice stick. And I mean, price point in California is about $18.95, but average price point across the country is around $17.
Okay.
So we're not that far off here.
I'm a little farther along in this because I lit it a little earlier. Now, Greg, you said you'd smoked one.
Mm-hmm.
Did you feel it stayed that creamy, smooth all the way through?
No.
Because it's starting to get, I'm more than halfway through, almost 2/3 of the way through, and it's starting to get a little spicier as you're coming through. But all in all, yeah, just a really smooth smoke.
Yeah. And I think this is probably a first time for the Gorilla, too.
Mm-hmm. It is.
And
I would tend to agree. And again, when they say it's sweet, it's not like sugar sweet. It's not like like is it Todescan, or are those the ones that have
Todescan?
It's not like it has, it's that creamy kind of earthy, again, sweet isn't the right word, but it's akin to that. It's
right.
A nice kind of mellow flavor. It hits those same spots on your taste buds.
Yeah, and you know, for a lot of people are not going to look at this cigar because of its price point. Mostly in states with high price points like California, New York, Vermont, things like that. Don't know what that was. And I think that we really need to sort of get off the price break. We were talking about this on a HERF I was on, Video HERF, on Saturday. everybody looks at cigars based on their dollar value, and dollar value, in fact, means jack and shit. You and I, the three of us, four of us, have had many conversations over, you know, a $10 cigar versus a $50 cigar. Is there any value in the higher price? Sometimes yes, sometimes no.
It depends on the cigar. It depends on the manufacturer. You know, depends on how long it's been aged. It depends on, you know, how well you've taken care of it in your humidor. There's so many different factors because this is a, you know, organic product. You know, we've said it time and time again over the course of the, you know, how many episodes we've done, that you can take what would normally have been an exceptional cigar and ruin it by how you cared for it.
True.
Or ruin it by how you smoke it.
Yeah.
How you lit it, what you're doing. So, you know, everybody's got to find their comfort level.
But we got to remember, too, though, just the sheer economics of cigar smoking, and that's when price point comes to play. It's like there's folks who, hey, you know, whatever station in life you are, and it's like, hey, I can't blow $18 on a cigar, so I stay in the $10 realm.
Right.
Or, you know, you get the budget cigar, anything from $2 to $5 or $6, and then you get the high rollers who will get an El Septimo at $100 a piece.
Well, that's the great thing about this, about the cigar industry. It doesn't matter where your price point is.
Right.
You're going to find something that you're going to be happy with.
Oh, no doubt.
You know, I've smoked some great $10 and under cigars that I would put up against a ton of $40 and $50 cigars all day long. It's, you know, find something that you like that is good for your palate, that's good for your wallet, and go with it.
Yeah,
absolutely.
You know, nobody else should have to give a shit what you're smoking. You know, and we see it every once in a while when, you know, whether we're in our local lounge or if we're out somewhere, you know, somebody will be lighting something up and, you know, somebody else will be like, oh, why are you smoking that? Because I like it, jackass. You know, it doesn't.
And there you go.
You know, and it's everything comes down to personal taste, man. Find something you like, you enjoy, at a price point you're comfortable with, and run with it. Simple as that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And there's some cigars, like there's some I know I like that are pricier and I don't smoke them all the time, but I will absolutely spend the money to smoke one when I want to.
There you go.
Yep.
Not to take away from a future soon to happen episode. One of the apostates that we're going to be discussing fits that bill. It's a little pricier, but holy shit, it's worth it.
Yes.
It's really good.
Yes. And you know, I think that, you know, as you said, you know, they become a treat when they're the high dollar expensive ones. Like, you know, my favorite in the expensive line is Davidoff. And you all know I don't smoke those every bloody day. I can't afford to smoke them every bloody
Right.
day. But when it's a particularly good day, or when either one of my nephews were born, or something to celebrate, it's a great cigar to have as a treat. And when you get that in whatever brand you choose, that's what's nice to have.
Yep. Yeah. There's a handful. There's 4 or 5, you know, that I will keep in reserve as a go-to, you know, when you're like, you know what, today's the day I need fill-in cigar here.
Right.
Byron is one of those. There's a couple of Davidoffs that fit that. You know, there's 5 or 6 cigars, and not all of them are even super high end, you know, as far as price point. There's just stuff that I don't necessarily smoke, you know, super regularly, because, you know, I want that for a special occasion, or for, you know, the day that you need that go-to, you know?
Yeah.
There's some days, man, that it's like, I want the consistency. I want to know, you know, I'm not rolling the dice with anything. I'm gonna get a tried and true. I'm drinking 5 fingers of bourbon and this cigar. You know, that's where I want to be. So
Yeah, I've got a couple of those Byrons sitting in my humidor right now, and it's like I just skip over them because it's like, is this the right time to smoke it? Nah.
But see, if you have to ask yourself, is this the right time? It's absolutely not.
It's not the right time.
Right.
Yeah, I'm down. I'm into the prohibitions. I've only got about 10 of those left. And, it's like, man.
I have a jar and a half of either one left, and I do the same thing Scott does, and I look at them, I'm like, yeah, they're there, but damn.
I've got a Mother Hubbard situation going on, gentlemen.
Yeah, I know your humidor is quite empty.
Yeah, it's quite bare, but I'm going to rectify that come next week because I'll be in Las Vegas, and I am going to the Las Vegas Cigar Warehouse, and I am going to stock up. Not crazy,
but you're going to get some nice stuff.
I'm going to get some good shit like Cavaliers.
The new Tempura.
Oh, yeah, there's that.
The new Tempura is fantastic.
Okay.
We featured it 2 or 3 episodes ago.
Yeah. So I have plans.
Yes.
I don't know if I'm going to get some Placencias, but I probably will.
You should, because you're not going to get a better price than over there,
I know. I'm in Nevada, so.
And they've got a couple of new ones coming out. CLE has a new one coming out, which I'll talk about shortly.
Mm-hmm.
I was digging around bottom shelf of the humidor over the weekend and uncovered some Adventura. That I had forgotten. It got pushed to the back on the bottom shelf. I'm like, look at that.
Don't you love events like that when they happen?
Like,
yeah.
I did. Actually, it's funny you say that. I did that too. Reorganizing in my humidor, I have the one shelf that's the don't touch shelf, right?
Yeah.
I now put it in its own humidor. Come across, what do I have in there? 4 yellow car Lanceros, 1 white car Lancero,
Wow.
1 light blue car Lancero from the one and only and out of production Via Havana.
Yep.
And I'm just like,
man.
And then I found some, remember the little Fidelitos, the little short ones?
Yeah.
A few red cars of that. And I'm like, oh, yes.
Those were fantastic cigars.
Yeah.
I so want to find some Balmorals somewhere.
The only place they're available now, unless somebody's sitting on them in a brick and mortar around the country. And audience, if you know where they're at, freaking send us an email, info@LoomisCigarCartel.com, and freaking let us know, because Scott and I will be calling them sons of bitches to buy them.
I will use frequent flyer air miles to fly my ass wherever it is to get them.
Yeah,
Yeah,
because
I can see how I'm going to tell my wife that. It's like, where are you going? Oh, I'm using my Delta points to go over and get some cigars.
he's going to Tulsa. But, it's one of those things. That's what I think is fun about the humidors. And you can even have a little 50 counter, and you still have stuff that sits to the bottom, and you forget that it's there.
Yep.
So, well,
Lay the news on us.
Yep, lay it on me.
these stories are a bit old. Sorry, we haven't been around for a month. But the Premium Cigar Association has announced they are launching a new form of support for their advocacy efforts across the U.S. There are now new levels for non-tobacco businesses and consumer to support the PCA. You can now join the PCA. The consumer level, if I remember correctly, is $99 a year. It gets you info and emails from the Premium Cigar Association and the PCA magazine that comes out every quarter. An alliance member that's business related, it's $250 a year. That can include wineries, breweries, restaurants, golf clubs, country courses, etc. That are in the premium cigar and pipe business outside of selling them. Also applies. The only thing that these new memberships do not get you is entry into the PCA trade show, but it is a way to support the PCA in their help and their advocacy, because as we know from talking to Josh Abersky on a couple different episodes, they do a lot of work behind the scenes to advocate for not only the cigar business, but us as the consumer. So if you feel like you want to become, join them and help them with the fight, you can go to LoomisCigarCartel.com. You can click on the cigar news section, check out the article. It has all the links that you require to find out more information. La Aurora has announced a limited edition Lancero collection. It is lovely. I'm a Lancero fan, as everyone knows. It's releasing a unique collection in time for the holiday season if you can find it. The limited edition Lancero collection features 10 cigars rolled in one of the most challenging formats, which is the Lancero. Due to their length and slim design, Lanceros are known for their refined balance and subtle tastes. This special collection will contain 2 of the following cigars: 120th Anniversary Dominican Republic Habano 1992 wrapper, 100 Años Dominican Republican Corojo wrapper, 107 Nicaragua in Nicaraguan wrapper, a Preferido Platinum Cameroon wrapper, and a Fernando Leon Corojo Ecuadorian wrapper. Only 500 boxes of these are going to be made. If you can find them, get them now. I picked up one the other day. It is a Steve Saka exclusive. It's 10 Lanceros. I don't know much about it other than that. More forthcoming on a future show.
All right.
CLE, that is Christian Arroyo's cigar company. They make not only the CLE line, they also make the Asylum line. If you have not checked those out, I suggest you do so. They are their first 20-year TAA exclusive, Tobacco Association of America cigar. They're taking places in Aruba. It was last month. They are releasing an exclusive blend, 54 by 6 round, which will set it apart from the traditional box press formats. It comes in a 10-count box. It's really pretty. I will get the pictures for Gorilla, or he can pull them off the web, either way. It's the first 20 years in celebration of Christian Arroyo's first 20 years in the cigar industry. Will set the blends apart is the tobacco, namely born from La Victoria del Corojo, which is Christian's grandfather, his farm in Cuba. They look really good. It's a 54 by 6, as I said. Blend is not really disclosed other than that. As you all know, a rather regrettable series of hurricanes went through the Florida Panhandle the last couple months. Also, J.C. Newman announced that their factory survived.
Oh, good news.
And that is the news for this episode.
Well, all right.
Dun, dun.
Very, very nice. Very, very nice. So how are those cigars treating you, gentlemen? As I sit here sadly swirling my drink, cigarless.
I'm kind of getting to that point where Larry was at a little bit ago. And
Okay.
yes, the creaminess has gone away. I'm getting more of a sort of black pepper and...
Yeah, but that's going to go away.
Oh, look forward to change again.
Yeah, it's gonna smooth back out a little bit. This is nice. I don't know if it pairs as well with the bourbon,
Right.
as it would, I think, with a dark roast coffee.
What about a dark rum?
Yeah, maybe. I'm funny with the dark rums. I want something that's either super creamy or something that's heavy, so that the rum's pushing against it. The stuff that's kind of middle of the road.
Yeah.
I'm not super excited about drinking a rum with those. So I want to go one end of the spectrum or the other if I'm doing a rum.
And if you two, because all the viewers know I'm not a regular drinker, and I'm typically not into bourbons. I'm just now getting into some bourbons. And what do you two look for when you're thinking about a cigar and a bourbon? What are the thought processes that go through your head about how you're pairing that?
It's experimental. I want balance. I don't want one competing with the other. So it's kind of a trial and error thing. There's nothing scientific about it. I wish I could be a sommelier and tell you that this fits with that. Fuck, I don't know. It's basically grab a cigar, newer cigar, you feel like some rum, go to my bar, see what I've got, and see how everything fits. That's pretty much what I do. I don't know about you.
For me, I think I've had better luck starting. Rums are a little bit different story. Bourbon, I've had a better time starting with a bourbon and stay on that same bourbon for a few times and try different cigars with that bourbon. Because there's some stuff that just doesn't work with some bourbons. And I didn't realize how drastic the change was until I changed bourbons with the same cigar. and a cigar that played well with an Angel's Envy did not play well with something else. And that kind of struck me as odd the first couple of times that I noticed that. But if you're starting out, if you're kind of new to trying to pair, I think whatever you're trying, whether it's rum, bourbon, whatever, even beers, pick a beer that you like and you're comfortable with, and then introduce different cigars to that. Then rather than kind of going, well, I'm going to try this one with that one, or no, I didn't like that. I'm going to change both up. Don't change both up. Stick with the same bourbon for a while and try 3 or 4 cigars.
Makes sense.
If nothing hits, then maybe it's time to change bourbons or change rums. But if you go that route, I have yet to come across a bourbon that I didn't find something that would go with it.
Right.
So, now there's been a couple that has taken me, a minute to find something. Blanton's was one that, you can't just smoke anything with that. I like, I've had real good luck. If I'm going to pour a Blanton's, I like to do the Barber Pole 2012 from
Right.
Oscar.
Oh,
that.
nice.
Maduro and
Because it pulls, you get a little bit of the creaminess out of that, but you also have a decent amount of flavor, strength with that cigar. So that one works pretty well for me with the blends. Not so much with an Angel's Envy or something like that. So, it's trial and error, like Scott said. There's not really any science to it per se. Because something that I like, you may not like.
Right.
So, but again, if you start with an alcohol, whatever it is, and then just kind of swap out 2 or 3 different cigars, you'll find something that goes well.
Oh, for sure.
The darker beers. We pulled a really good dark beer from Granite Bay Brewing over here down the road a while back. The Camacho, Connecticut.
Oh, yeah.
Goes so good with that.
Nice.
So, because you're getting that really smooth, creamy pull on that Connecticut.
Yeah.
Which Camacho is a pretty good size ring gauge on that cigar anyway. A 50 or 52 on those, I think. 52.
52.
And so if you throw a nice straight cut on that, you're pulling a lot of smoke in with that.
Right on.
And then with a nice dark beer, it's perfect, man.
Nice.
Yeah, see, I've gotten the bourbon that has gotten to be my favorite is Eagle Rare.
Okay.
Because it's nice, it's smooth, it doesn't have the burn, doesn't have the bite to it, so it's become my bourbon of choice. But I tend to find cigars are easy. Bourbon for me it's going to take more time to get to differentiate between the flavor profiles of the different ones, but that's become my favorite so far.
Okay, so you're at Eagles Rare. What have you smoked with that you liked?
So, believe it or not, typically the lighter cigars seem to work better because, to Scott's point, when I'm smoking a heavier cigar, drinking that Eagle Rare, the cigar tends to drown it out. Mm-hmm. So, believe it or not, the Visa Jalapa, Churchill and Toro from Cavalier tend to pair very well with that Eagle Rare. Unfortunately, I don't have any of those anymore, so now I'm more into more of the Connecticut's, the few Connecticut's I have left, which the Rocky 7-year, the Camacho Criollo versus the Connecticut, because it's a lot lighter. Those all pair well for me with that rum, or with that bourbon.
Have you gone something like the Apostate?
Not yet.
Okay.
Mostly because I haven't opened the bundle of the Endowment, which is the number 8, and that's the other Connecticut. I haven't tried a Liahona with that, but that's a good thought too.
The Liahona is where I was going. Based on the cigars you've already named, I think that would be a good choice out of that line. The Connecticut from Room 101, the Big Payback, I think would roll with that. I like that cigar anyway, so I'm gonna point that towards you either way.
Yeah.
Then probably you've already tried Cavalier's lighter stuff with it, so so you're following right along, right along the plan there is, get a bourbon you like, and then just, work something else in and out with it until you find something that, and it may not always stay, the same. If you've had a huge heavy meal before that, you're going to do the bourbon and cigar, at the end of the day, end of the night to kind of wind down. You're probably going to want to step up something with a little more power than a Connecticut, just because of the meal.
Well, it's interesting you say that because, when I go to Scotches, which the listeners to the program most know, I'm not a peated Scotch person, but when I go to the Scotches, my favorite being the Bruichladdich Classic Laddie, which is unpeated. It's an Islay, but it's unpeated. That one I tended to do more of a heavier cigar with it because I need the contrast to the flavor of the medicine-y quality of the Scotch. I need the contrast to that. So typically a more heavy cigar works for that.
I'm the same way. If it's a Scotch, then I'm typically on the Maduro side, double Maduro.
See, I'm a purist when it comes to Scotch. Macallan for me, and a lighter cigar is perfectly fine with it. It works for me because it takes on the characteristics of the Scotch, which is totally okay. But
See,
what's really
that's
good?
funny. I'm more that way with the rums.
Yeah.
With the Scotch, I want something that's pushing back against that Scotch.
Well, if you want something that pushes, that's really good, Macallan Gold and a Cavalier Inner Circle.
Okay.
I didn't think about that. That's a great Connecticut.
Yep. All right. Yeah, I'll give that a shot.
That will get your head nodding, going, okay. But yeah, I'm more or less a Scotch guy, so Macallan's always good, or a good Space Side.
Oh yeah, a good Islay if it's
Yeah,
for me unpeated, for you probably peated, but
not too peated though. Too much peat. Every now and then I'll do a peated, but it's not my regular thing, honestly.
And then of course, if we're talking about pairing cigars and liquor, we can't fail to mention that I have yet to find a cigar that does not go poorly with hogback.
Yes, we have to mention hogback. We are remiss if we do not. The Enigma.
The Enigma. And did you know, this might be new for the viewers, it might be new for the two of you, they now have the ability to ship directly to you here in California direct from their website.
Nice.
So get on Graham's website, check out, search Hogback Distillery. They're out of Boulder, Colorado. Their new tasting room is open in Estes Park. Tell them Scott, Larry, and Greg sent you.
Yeah, that's that you will not be disappointed.
Oh yeah.
Wherever you're landing as far as alcohols.
And if you are disappointed, I'm frankly going to tell you, it's your fault.
There we go.
See, the classy thing was not to say that, but okay.
No, I'm going to say it anyway.
All right.
That's how much I believe in Graham and Catherine's product.
Yep.
I'm with you there.
But, Gorilla, you've been rather quiet over there. How is that Oliva treating you?
It's good. I haven't quite hit the halfway mark because I'm smoking pretty slow. But it's still creamy. It's still earthy. The creaminess is just starting to ebb away, but I haven't gotten that black pepper yet. So we're getting there.
It's coming.
Yeah, you're getting close, though.
4 more days.
Are you dying?
Yes. God damn it. This sucks.
Now, how long's it been since you had to have a break smoking? When you got the implant? That's been
that was a couple of years.
Ago, right?
That was a couple of years ago, and that was, what was that, fucking 3 weeks?
3 weeks at least.
It was like 3 weeks, no cigars.
And then, it was actually twice because there was the 3-week break when they removed the tooth, and then there was another couple of week break when they put the post in.
Yes.
So it's been a while for you.
Yeah. So I am climbing the freaking walls right now. And Tiny Wife, she pulls the prank on me. I am out of it. Because of course, when I go to get this extraction, I have to get it done by the oral surgeon. And, they're not going to do anything until you pay and they run your insurance, of course. I understand. You're not running a soup kitchen. So they go through it and they say, okay, well, your insurance doesn't cover this, this, or this. As far as your sedation goes, they don't cover sedation, but you've got 3 options. Novocaine, just Novocaine, or conscious sedation, or where we completely knock you out with an IV. I was like, say no more. I don't want to know about it. I don't want to hear about it. Full knock me out. They told me how much it was. It was like, I gave her my credit card. I was like, here, take my money.
Credit card flew out his wallet.
Yeah, no shit. So when the procedure's over, they get me into the car. And it had to have been funny because I just remember like little notches of what was going on. I guess they had me in a wheelchair and they were transporting me over to the car.
They found a wheelchair big enough for your ass?
I'm not 400 fucking pounds.
No,
dude.
but you're fucking 6'5".
They had his feet on a refrigerator dolly.
So
The wheelchair low boy.
So they stick me, and this fucker put me into the car. Tiny Wife is driving me home, stops off at the store, and I'm kind of in and out. And then she says, reading the aftercare instructions, and says, "Oh, you can't smoke for 5 weeks." Now,
Full
of course-
consciousness, right?
I do remember this part. I was just like, no.
His ears perked up like a Doberman pinscher. Huh?
And she's like, I'm just kidding. 5 days. I'm like, you're mean.
5 weeks. Oh my God.
That scared the hell out of me.
At week number 5, you'd be a homicidal maniac.
Hey, hey, just to let you know, man, I love you, but at day 8, I'd stop taking your phone calls. You know what I'm saying?
I would be on top of the tallest building in
It's like
Sacramento
Rigor.
swatting planes.
That's his job, by the way.
Hey, Gorilla, what are you doing?
He's more
over
of a
there, man?
zoo gorilla.
I'm just hanging. I'm here.
He's not an exhibit gorilla. He's a zoo gorilla. It's not like a King Kong kind of thing.
Right.
Yeah. More of a grape ape.
More Magilla.
McGilla.
I'm waiting.
Gorilla does not look pleased.
Yeah, I told you guys earlier, man.
And I'm in the line of fire.
Gorilla's had a rough couple of days, man. He's had to bear some heavy weight.
Gorilla, the aforementioned bananas that will show up eventually, do you want a couple lined with lead?
Why don't you just let me have the bananas for a few days? I'll sort it out.
Okay.
This threat of bananas, it's gone on for over a year. I have not seen bananas. You have produced
Oh, trust
no
me,
bananas.
one of our loyal listeners tried to buy bananas for us, and I'm like, nope.
$12 doggy chew toy bananas.
Yes, I'm like, nope. Those things are heavy and they're hard, and no.
Again, bananas are not forthcoming. They're not forthcoming.
That's what you think.
No, they're not. All this talk about bananas.
They're already in my Amazon
Get
cart.
you a 6'5" banana costume. Here you
Yeah,
go,
there
buddy.
we go.
And who's going to get me into said banana costume?
Well, you got to do the banana dance from Family Guy.
No, I don't.
I figure when they do the implant and have you knocked out, we'll just dress you in a banana suit.
So I know one of us out of this group does not do Thanksgiving. So your plans are whatever your plans are going to be, hanging out. Good day. You know you're invited over if you wish.
Yeah, no, it's
Long story. You've told it
The
once.
spouse has got something going on. I refuse to participate.
I thought you were talking about me. Okay.
No. You guys, I know, are going to Las Vegas for Thanksgiving.
Yes.
Are you flying and staying at a hotel, or are you taking the Hickory Bronze October?
No, we are flying. Originally, we were going to stay at the Trump Hotel. But it would have eaten up all of our points, so we are staying at the Polo Club.
Okay.
Question:
Yes.
Have you relocated the Hickory Bronze October?
I have, indeed.
I was going to say. 'cause
Yeah, I noticed that. Thank you for bringing that up.
It was not sitting majestically out here in its former spot along the road.
No, it's a little closer to home, and they had like a kick-ass introductory deal. It's like you pay 6 months in advance, and they pay like 1 month and half of another month. So
is this the new place right by your house?
It's actually not so new as the place where we originally had the 25-footer.
Oh, okay.
But then they kind of relocated next door, and their security got like a fuck ton better because they had an issue with people, jumping the fence, hot wiring something, and then just riding out with it.
Nice.
You can't really do that now because it's like keypad in, keypad out. And if you try to bust through the fence and go out to the street, there's like a covert. So your shit ain't going nowhere.
Good to know.
So
Yeah.
it was like, hey, I like this.
Yeah.
And it's a pull through.
And it's a lot closer for you because
Yeah.
it was way up here by the shop. And for those of you that are familiar with our area and where we're all located, it's a half an hour experience to get Scott's RV when it was up here.
Yeah.
But
And for us, is right now, it's like 20 minutes because Westbrook goes all the way to Baseline now.
that's fantastic.
That's wonderful.
About time.
Yep.
Yeah.
And then we have Super Bowl plans, I understand.
Well, that's going to be up to the social directors to run that. That is not up to you, me, or you.
Are we planning on recording if that is the case?
Oh, hell yeah.
Bring the
Okay.
equipment, of course.
We're going to be shithoused. We'll be
We
recording.
can probably do the wireless mic setup for that. We don't have to bring all this with us,
Yeah.
especially if it's cold and wet and miserable.
That means I better hurry up and get tires on.
Yeah, you need to get tires, bruh.
Yeah, well, we had a minor interruption in that. We put tires on the wife's mode of transportation today.
Oh, okay.
800?
Shit. Try again.
Well, let me put it to you this way. When we wanted to look for the truck, right? Just 2 tires to replace the 2 that were worn out because the front 2 are not worn out. It was $750 for 2 freaking tires. It was ridiculous. So I'll go again and go 14.
Yeah, no.
Holy fuck.
18
1774 out
Jesus Christ.
for 4 tires.
the door. Yes, sir.
How big are fucking tires? Like, what the fuck, man?
Hey, man, it's a...
Are they an odd size, like a 19?
No, it's an Acura MDX.
What's the rim size?
Fuck, I don't know. Whatever
20s?
size.
No, 20s are common. If it was an odd, like a 17 or a 19, that's where you get into
that's
odd
where
sizes.
you go up. Yeah, I think they might be. I don't know. We picked up a nail. I noticed last night coming home from eating dinner, we had low tire pressure. So I went a couple places. Hey, pull this nail, and they're like, it's pretty close to the sidewall. Yeah, screw it. I'm just going up to America's Tire.
Yeah.
So I went up to America's Tire. They took a look at it. Turns out there were 3 nails in the driver's rear, and the guy's like, I might be able to patch these. I'm like, hey, take a look at the tread wear on this. We're in winter. We're supposed to have a wet winter. He goes, yeah, you're getting pretty close. I'm like, just put a set of tires on it, man. So we go in. He's like, oh, we can do this. We can do that. We can do this. And I'm like, whatever. He goes, cash, card, or I'm like, card. And he threw the total out there. I'm like, God.
Second mortgage.
Damn. I'm like, God damn, that's more than I paid for my first car. But, it is what it is, man.
Hey.
It's just,
Gotta have tires, man.
Yeah, and you got to have good tires, particularly with the rainy season getting here.
Exactly.
got to pay to play.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
So.
And I did notice that the next time I'm up in the friendly state of Idaho, it looks like V-Cut's anniversary party is going to happen shortly, and there'll be Foundation will be there. So if y'all are up in the Nampa area on December the 7th, I suggest you get up there and check that out.
Are you driving or flying?
I'm gonna fly. It's the white shit's falling, and the white shit's now falling in Winnemucca. It snowed there today. I will fly
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
because the only vehicle that I'm comfortable driving at this point, this time of year now, would be the truck with 4-wheel drive.
Yeah.
Yeah. Makes sense.
And I don't have a heater core that functions in my Volkswagen, so if I get stuck, I'm gonna freeze and die.
No, don't do that.
You don't miss me.
A Greg sickle. All right, what else we got, man?
Oh, man.
That's all I got. I mean, we talked about the mice condominium. We talked about the news. We're smoking a great cigar.
Fuck you.
Good to be back after
Shut up.
a month.
No one asked you.
Good to be back after a month of no recording. Fortunately, we had that episode. I hope you all enjoyed that. It was not our normal episode, but I hope you enjoyed it. And if you didn't, or you did, again, I'm going to say this again.
Man, we got
no fan mail in like months. Where's our friend from Van Horn, Texas, Derek, if I remember correctly?
No one yelled at the gorilla, told him he's a fucking idiot about, being, dumb, whiny liberal about guns. It was, it's been quiet.
It's been quiet. So that email address,
can
guys.
somebody please email in and tell the gorilla he's being a dick about whiny guns?
Yeah. So
a dick about whiny guns. That's close enough.
The email
Something
is
like that.
info at LoomisCigarCartel.com. We will read it on the air. Say whatever you want. We'd love to hear from you. We really do enjoy the fan mail and talking to you guys like that. So come on, please reach out. The other thing I will tell you all is visit our Facebook page, LoomisCigarCartel.com. Same on Instagram. We have discussed reactivating Twitter. When that actually happens, we'll let you know. Gorilla and I are still working on
X.
that. Whatever. Same bullshit.
It'll always be Twitter. Long live Twitter.
Yes, and the other thing that's been really cool. I don't know if you guys have been paying attention.
What is that?
The Facebook groups, the Facebook page and the group have been growing pretty steadily. We've been getting about once to twice a week, at least 2 people joining. So for all of you that did join and are thinking about joining, welcome. I'm glad you're in there. Glad you're putting up with our bullshit, and thanks for joining. Welcome. Post your pictures. Brian Ferris is a fellow out of Nashville, I believe. He's a firefighter.
Yeah.
He posts a lot on there. The guys from Idaho, William Arnold, William Brown, Tommy, they're all posting on there. So, interact, check us out, let us know what you think, and
throw up pictures of what you're smoking, throw up pictures of where you smoke.
And what you're drinking.
Yeah.
I'll throw out there also the last episode, for those of you that listened, go listen to it or watch it if you didn't. I'll throw out, we are planning to do a couple more episodes like that to keep in the can for scenarios like last week where 2 of the 4 of us were down and out for the count, so that the gorilla has something to edit. If you have a topic that's a little more beyond-y than humidor-y, that we could... Well, I'll be honest, we're not going to talk about Star Trek on the episode with all 4 of us because two of you will fall asleep. But if you've got a more beyond type discussion for us to talk about as one of those kind of emergency episodes, throw it out there. Why not?
Yeah, why not?
Yeah.
But which 2 would be asleep?
I'm one of them.
Well, that one for sure would be asleep if we talked about Star Trek.
It just depends on which Star Trek you're speaking of.
True. And Larry's got to log in. I got to send him the login for Paramount so he can finish watching Deep Space Nine.
He's not feeling it, Mr. Krabs.
Yeah, I see the look on his face.
By the way, I've been, Scott and Sue are regular goers to the movie theaters when things have come out to see.
What movie did you go see?
I today saw the movie Conclave, and if you haven't seen the preview and it's still in the theater, I suggest you take a look. It was a book written by Robert Harris. Basically, the Pope, which is not the current Pope or the previous one, has passed, and they must re-elect a new pope. So you go through the intrigue of the internal politics of someone fucking the other 4 preferiti that are in the thing, and there's a money scandal and a bombing, and I won't tell you who gets elected and how and why, but you really should check it out. It was an excellent film, and I really enjoyed it. Of course, I've read the book before and knew what happened, but it still didn't disappoint. It was well done. The cast is stellar. You've got Ralph Fiennes, John Lithgow, Stanley Tucci, and Isabella Rossellini.
Oh, that's a great cast.
So it's a great
Very good
cast. Yeah, and it was a great film. One of them is a cigar. One of the Cardinals is a cigar smoker. I could never figure out what he was smoking. They were definitely Lanceros through the production because they were small ring gauge, but yeah, it was a great movie, and the big screen really, I think, was the way to see that.
Cool.
All right.
I'll throw out, because I forgot to mention on the last episode, Send Greg and I your perfect Star Trek bridge crew. That was something we did last week, was from the entire canon, build your crew of the Enterprise.
Yes.
It was insane.
It was fun.
Should we shoot him now or wait till we get home?
Shoot him now. Shoot him now.
Gorilla, take me home. Well, throughout the episode, as I've complained that I have no cigar, so there's nothing to nub, but the glass is empty, so I think it's about that time. I want to thank you for hanging out with us, joining us, and on behalf of the Gorilla, rest in power Harambe, Greg, and Lawrence, and myself, thank you for listening. Check us out at LumisCigarCartel.com. Like and share us on Facebook. Follow us on Instagram. I need the bloody code for that, by the way.
Done.
Don't be a stranger. Drop us a line on info@LumisCigarCartel.com. Let us know you're out there. I'm Scott Robinson. Look forward to chatting with you on the next episode. But until then, stay healthy and safe. And good smoke, good drink, and good life. Take care, everybody.